Hi, what's your name?
New honor, my name Chair Jason McCormick.
Thank you. This is State of Michigan versus Jarrett McCormick, 23FB1042. I have received a petition requesting a court-appointed lawyer. I will sign that. You may proceed when you are ready, Mr. Belbasi.
Yes, Assistant Public Defender Qasim Belbasi on behalf of Jarrett McCormick. We have had a chance to view the form of complaint, so we would waive a formal reading and stand mute to the charges at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Go ahead when you're ready, Ms. Tanha.
Marie Tanna, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of the people. Your Honor, is the court in receipt of our bond recommendation form?
Yes.
If the court would allow, I'd like to read
Yes.
that into the record. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't take the testimony, so I'm just opening the file for the first time. I don't know anything.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, in this case, the victim is currently in a very critical condition. So far has had one surgery, will require many more. She was shot 3 times. It appears that defendant does have a criminal record, and we can discuss that momentarily. Is a registered sex offender and has an assaultive criminal history. I do see under police department recommendations, no assaultive behavior against the following or anyone else. There's not a list of names, but I would assume that we would enter their victim as well as the co-defendant, Jamil Smith. Police are also asking for no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons, no use or possession of alcohol and or illegal drugs, full no contact with those two, who's the victim, and Jamil Smith, who's the co-defendant. We are asking for $1 million surety bond. If there's a release, home confinement with tether. Factual basis states if defendant posts bond, he should be confined to home with a GPS tether. Defendant is very dangerous. He shot a woman who was unarmed and did not present a threat to him. He's a felon and was carrying a firearm. Defendant is very dangerous. His criminal history includes armed robbery and accosting a child for immoral purposes. Despite the fact that he's a felon, he was carrying a loaded firearm. He and victim were arguing verbally. Victim did not have a weapon. Defendant was in a car. Defendant got out of the car and shot victim. As she was falling to the ground, he shot her again. He shot her a final time when she was laying on the ground. He then drove away. Defendant's statement indicates an extremely cavalier attitude about the entire incident. He references dealing with victim as he would have dealt with a man. Video shows him simply exiting his car and shooting the unarmed victim. And Your Honor, I'll be happy to supplement if the court has any questions.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Belbasi.
Yes, Your Honor. While Mr. McCormick understands how serious these charges are, I just want to give a little bit about him. He is a shift supervisor at KC since 2015. He's enrolled in CMH, getting treatment at community health services, season therapy. He's seeking participation in Catholic and social services. Like I said, he works full-time as a shift supervisor, and he supports 5 stepchildren. He has paid all his dues and continues to pay his dues for his previous cases. He is not on probation or parole for anything. So we would ask the court to have a little bit of mercy on him.
All right. Mr. McCormick, setting bond, it has essentially 2 prongs, 2 parts to it. One is whether the defendant is a flight risk, and the other is whether the defendant is a danger to the community. The only thing I think that indicates flight risk is some history in the past of failing to appear for court, but you are in compliance with your registry obligations. Haven't always been, but you are now. And I don't see any other reason. You have a job, you're supporting your family. I don't see any other reason to think that you might be a flight risk. So I think what we're really talking about here is danger to the community. The things that indicate a possible and ongoing danger to the community are the allegations in this case that you shot somebody 3 times, one of those times being when the alleged victim was already down on the ground from the first 2 shots. And I think that the second thing that indicates danger to the community is the illegal carrying of a firearm. Illegal for anybody to carry a firearm the way that you were, as a concealed weapon without the proper permits. And then also specifically illegal for you to carry a firearm because of your previous convictions. So I think we're looking at those two things indicating danger to the community. I don't know what you and Miss Cook were talking about. I know who she is. So I'm somewhat familiar with her situation. I don't know what the two of you were talking about or what that conflict began as. I am particularly concerned with 3 shots. The laws of the state of Michigan allow me to hold a person who's charged with murder without a bond, but a person in your situation who allegedly shot someone 3 times, but the person didn't die, there's no such obligation or no such permission to hold a person without murder, which in my opinion is a defect in the statute. So if you were charged with murder, I would hold you without bond. The only reason that I can't do that is because you're not charged with murder, because she's still alive. So I am going to set the bond at $1 million.
Yeah. May I speak, please say something?
Sure.
Yeah. I know of, previously living in Ipsy McCout area, never had any bad terms with her. That day.
Mr. McCormick, I would ask you to refrain from speaking about anything that happened that day at this time, please.
I do have one question, Ms. Tanha. You said that there was a video showing him getting out of the car. So the part of the statement you made earlier where he is shown firing more than once at her once he got out of the car, that's what the video shows.
That's my understanding, Your Honor. I haven't viewed it myself, but that's my understanding.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to set the bond at $1 million, cash or surety, no 10%.
Your Honor, I would just like to say that I believe $1 million is equivalent to no bond in this case.
I agree.
I
guess since we're back on YouTube and people on YouTube complain about that, I will say something more for the record regarding that. No bond means that under no circumstances can any property or money or surety or guarantee be paid to get the person out of custody. There is no way for the person to bond out. A bond of $1 million may, as a practical matter, be the equivalent of no bond, but it is not the same thing, because property, money, bail bondsman, family member, GoFundMe, whatever, money can be, if there is money or property to post the bond, then it can be posted. That's the difference. I don't think Mr. McCormick can post this bond. I'm trying to think about what I want to do about a tether. If he can post the bond, it's a significant bond, and it's enough to, in the opinion of the court, to protect the community. And in that case, I want him to be able to continue to work and support his family. So I was trying to figure out if there was something else I could do with the tether. I'm just going to do nothing with the tether. He'll be back in court next week. And if he's able to post the bond, or if the bond gets reduced at that time, then that can be readdressed. So I'm not going to order a tether. Court date is probable cause conference on March 16th at approximately 9 a.m. over Zoom. Mr. McCormick, I know you're unhappy and you disagree, and I'm sorry that we're even having this conversation. So I hope that this gets resolved quickly for you. You're all set. What's your name, please?
My name is Norland Twala.
Mr. Natwala, you're here today on a community corrections violation, State of Michigan versus Natwala 22F11916. Your office was previously appointed. Mr. Lebo, you may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Dive on behalf of Mr. Intuwala. I do see that this is a situation where Judge Simpson has issued a bench warrant without bond. However, I do believe in this matter, there are compelling reasons to modify that or to consider contacting Judge Simpson's chambers regarding this. Because
Okay.
the circumstance of the violation is Mr. Intuala had a PCC on March 2nd,
Right.
and he was ordered to report for testing that day.
Yes.
Mr. Intuala did report to community corrections on that day, and at that point he was turned away because he did not have the $12 required, and he was told to come back the next day with the $12. He did not have the $12 the next day, and he was told to come back, that he could come back on Monday and test with the $12, which he did.
But
And
by that point, there was already the warrant.
Yes, Your Honor. He's very eager to be released from custody. He needs to care for his children and return to work as soon as possible. So both to ensure his continued ability to pay for testing and to ensure his continued ability to remain in his home and remain in his job.
So it's not just that issue, though. He was ordered to go to community corrections when I saw him in December, and he did not report. Then there was a warrant issued and recalled, and he was supposed to go back to community corrections. And he still didn't do that. So every time he's ordered to go to community corrections, he doesn't go. So it's not just this particular day. And the reason that Judge Simpson ordered the no bond warrant, because the reason Judge Simpson ordered the no bond warrant if he didn't appear is because he kept Mr. Nutwala has been ordered many times to go to community corrections, and he doesn't go. And so Judge Simpson was in effect saying, this is your last chance. And I am not going to ask Judge Simpson whether he wants to change that, and I'm not modifying that. I think that that's appropriate given what he was told to do on that day, and the next day and the day after. So he also had a failure to appear for a PCC on January 5th. So it's much more complicated, I think, than just missing that one day.
Thank you. So in that case, we would request the soonest possible date in front of Judge Simpson.
Right, which will be, I believe, is still going to be on the 16th. What's his next court date scheduled for? Is it the 16th? Okay.
I can bring up JS.
Paul's telling me it's the 16th, so we'll set the show cause on the bond violation for that same time. So 9 a.m. on the 16th.
Yep.
Your office, of course, can file a motion with Judge Simpson's office if that's what seems appropriate. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Nutwala. Thank you.
I did not apprehend your verdict, or maybe the last part you just said.
Sure. Judge Simpson ordered you to go to community corrections and told you that if you did not report on March 2nd, then you would be held with you. A bench warrant was going to issue requiring you to be held without bond. So your lawyer told me that you tried to report and you didn't have the money, and that you were given a chance to come back the next day, which you didn't do. So I'm not going to change Judge Simpson's bonds. The reason that he set that is because you've been ordered to go to community corrections multiple times, and you don't go. So now you're being held without bond, no chance to post a bond, and he'll see you on March 16th.
And like I said, I did not violate any bond. I went there twice without having any money. I was experiencing financial hardship. So I was even advised to go cans to pick up, bottles, and I say that's not even sanitary. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna try to come up with money. But for some reason, I do not know why Miss Cheryl or Mrs. Cheryl did not actually let you know that I was there.
Yeah, that's not in your file. You're right. No one
I
told us.
was
that.
there. It's not that I was there after court. So
Okay,
after being at court with Judge Simpson, I did the same exact thing he recommended me to do. I went there, but I did not have the $12 at all.
yeah, I understand what you're telling me.
I
And
went there twice. I went there
can't-
on Thursday. I called also, and I was advised to come up here Monday, and she was supposed to let you know, guys. And now I'm gonna be here. I have responsibilities. Who's gonna pay for my time? How I'm gonna be able to survive myself, even to provide? I'm wasting time. I have family to take care of. I am responsible. I did what they asked me to do. I did. You guys
didn't
can
do it,
contact
but
the community service
Mr.
and ask them
Neutrala,
if I did not report on that specific day that I was ordered to get there. I went there. I did not violate. I went there. I don't believe that I violate. I don't believe so.
all right,
I
so
did not violate. I reported.
I
went.
understand.
Yes,
I
I
hear
did
what you're
not
saying.
violate.
I understand.
I did not.
Okay,
I am very honest talking to you, Your Honor. I did not violate any bond condition as it is stated in your file. I did not.
okay. Your lawyers can contact Community Corrections and verify what you're saying and file a motion with Judge Simpson.
Sounds fair.
But I'm not going to change the bond set by Judge Simpson.
And even my public defender would have done so prior even to come to court. We have plenty of time. We had a couple hours prior to appear in front of you. And
Mr.
here we
Koala,
are. He has not called the community service to verify what I have told him. He only going to take at least 5 minutes to verify that.
All right, but I still wouldn't change your bond, even if he could tell
But
me.
I did not violate. I am wrongly arrested right now. I cannot be held in here. I have my rights. I have human rights. You cannot arrest me if I die. I already reported.
Mr. Koala, I have made a note.
Violating my rights. I'm not gonna let you violate my rights.
Okay,
I did not violate any bond condition.
Mr. Koala, I've put a note to have your
rights.
signed attorney file a motion to have your
I
bond
feel like
as
at this
soon as possible.
specific moment, you are not respecting my rights. You violating my right. I am being wrongly held here. I did not violate any bond condition. I did not.
all right.
I reported.
Okay. I am following the directions that Judge Simpson has given me. That's what I'm doing. I've also talked to
What about the direction that the Constitution stands for, not to violate human rights?
I'm not going to go
You
through.
cannot arrest me.
We're finished with him. Thank you.
Thank you. Shay.